Hi everyone, I'm Eli Latimerlo, Miller Center's Senior Director of Development. And what it does is it creates a framework by which individual corporations can engage with the nonprofit sector in finding alignments, focuses that serve the greater good. Yeah, never cold call a donor. My tip would be to know as much as I possibly could about that donor. Know about their interests, know about their previous philanthropy, know about their relationship to Miller Center or Santa Clara broadly, and to really use those linkages to engage more deeply with them. Nurture that relationship, and we do that through what I refer to as the 10 touches. And it's based on Terry Axelrod's work in development. And the idea there is to nurture a relationship with your donors through 10 engagements before you solicit them for any sort of gift. So that sort of value for money is so incredibly powerful and so incredibly impactful. If I was a lead interested in either ESG or CSR at a major corporation, I would be thinking very long and hard about how I could engage with Miller Center and accelerators broadly to really amplify my efforts. You gotta love people. If you're not really passionate about engaging with people, and if you're not curious about institutions and the levers of business, that's probably a pretty good sign that development's not a good fit for you. But if you are, any discipline can lend your way. And then what I recommend doing is just, like reaching out, engaging with the development folks that do as many informational interviews as you possibly can, ask people about their networks, and you're doing development work. Those are the first sort of steps to an effective development officer. Just in terms of personal preference, you get more out of a lunch meeting, I think, than you do out of a dinner meeting, in part because I think there's a pretext to work. And there's a fun thing that I learned when I lived and worked in the Netherlands, working with my French colleagues, and that is taking the time during a lunch meeting to get to know people. Instead of just jumping into business. So, it seems almost like an oxymoron, but, spending your work time, getting to know people, learning about their personal lives, learning about their interests, learning about their families, their kids, their passions. And before you getting into the work, really makes a difference. And I think that's really kind of the linchpin for success in development, is taking the time to get to know the institutions and the individuals that we work with. And as you build out those relationships, really grounded in a shared sense of familiarity, but also purpose and passion, you can then work together. Yeah, it's relationship driven. I think the relationships allow you to achieve the goals. The more connections you can have with people, the deeper those connections can be, you will be successful. That's just development. If you're just about the bottom line, if you're too Machiavellian in your approach, if we lose sight of the people that make this work, at the end of the day, all development is about people, even institutional development. I know my CFR friends are like, what are you saying? But it's true, right? It's about people. And if people like working with you, if they like engaging with you, if they believe in you, if they believe in what you're doing, that lends itself to achieving the goals.